Yo guys, what's going on? Robert Warshack here, and I'll be going over the best decks since the post-patch nerf of basically some of the most powerful cards in Hearthstone that we've seen. Very prominent for the last couple months. We're looking at Quest Warlock, we're looking at Freyak, we're looking at Ancient of Yore, we're looking at Murloc Paladin. There's just so many decks across the board that just basically every best card in the deck, Testing Dummy, Chem Spill, Warlock Location, Rogue Weapon. I mean, everything here got hit. Every single good deck lost a card or two. So after just streaming 9 hours and playing with as much as I possibly could and seeing what the meta looked like on both Asia and on NA, these are the top performers I saw today. So we had Rekvam playing some Imbue Druid. Apparently this deck is back in action. However, it did get 2 new cards in the deck, which is good. There are a few decks that literally just got no new cards, but of course, like, they just didn't get nerfed. They were like bottom of tier 2 and they just move up to tier 1 because anything that was already good that just didn't get touched moves up. But however, Imbue Druid runs the new 2 mana, deal 3 damage. If you played a minion while holding this, you gain 5 armor. The key is here, it's a nature card, which is really good. And one of the reasons, again, you have to run nature cards in your Imbue Druid in order to get the upgraded hero power at the start of the game. And then another new carve is the Wave Shaping, which is a 1 mana discover a card from your deck, and the others get put to the bottom. This is really good at just finding what you need and putting what you don't need at the bottom. I haven't played this list yet, but it was being played around like top 200 legend by quite a few people, so obviously it's very good. A card I love in this deck, and we actually played it not too long ago and it felt amazing, is this Hyper. This is a 5 mana, draw a 1, 2, 3 and 4 cost minion, and then Kindred, they cost 1 less, putting your single long buddy back at 2 mana. And this card is just super fantastic, feels really powerful in the deck. And Imbue Druid, yeah, larger and larger green men are back, boys. And don't forget about the Chameleon, which is a newer card that didn't really see too much play. This deck got nerfed shortly after the Chameleon came into action. So yeah, Imbue Druid is back on the menu. Looking again at Dragon Priest. I fucking hate Zucchini Priest. There are a few different renditions of this deck. Some of them run like repackage and both Light Bomb. This is a version that I played and post a video on. If I have a video on the deck, I'll post it in the description below. If not, it'll be coming out shortly. But yeah, the core of this deck is what it used to be. You just kill your opponent with dragons. I run a splash of an Imbue in here because the cards themselves are already just good. A 2 mana 3/2 Imbue is just, it's a solid card. And then the 3 mana 3/3 give all enemy minions -2 attack, obviously good. And then the turns that you don't have anything, you have that free Imbue card. If you don't like the Imbue, just replace them with just more dragons. That's generally what people do. But I like the flexibility of Imbue, and it gives you other win conditions besides going with the Zucchini, which is once per game. If you've played other dragons, take an extra turn. You play this card alongside your Morazon, which is at the start of your next turn. Set this minion's attack to infinity. So with this combo, you do need to have 13, or what was that? 14 mana, which is very easily doable with stuff like Ysera and your Snorlax. So you just get to your 14 mana, or if you happen to discount them with your Tormented Dreadwing, that works too. So 13 mana works as well if you've discounted. And yeah, you just win. You skip your opponent's turn, you have infinity attack, and you attack. That's it. So it has a ton of pressure and then an inevitable just infinite damage win con. For those of you who really loved Zucchini Priest in the previous meta, where we got to play this for 3 months straight, we're back. You get it again. This time, instead of having like 60 damage, you have infinite damage. Great. Love that for you Priest players. Moving down to another new Demon Hunter deck. Instead of the Arcanite Defense Crystal with the starships, we are moving to the Spirit Peddler, which discounts your Ferocious Fellbat. When the Ferocious Fellbat dies, it brings back your Peddler. And then if you play your Chrono Lord, since this card, your Battle Cries, Death Rattles, and Hero Powers at the end of the turn trigger twice, you combo this with your Return Policy, which triggers your Fellbat, which will trigger your Spirit Peddler. You can kind of see where I'm going here. This is the new cheat a million mana Demon Hunter deck. So instead of going for a big starship, you just have an entire board of 6 6s, 6 5s, and a 0 mana hand by around turn 5 to 8. Few people were playing this at top 100 legend. Deck seems to be doing very well. I myself would like to include Inquisitor in this deck. I'm a fan of the Inquisitor, and reducing down Inquisitor makes me happy. So I'll try this deck soon, and I'll be including Inquisitor and maybe Quest and some other spicy cards because that's the way we do it. But yeah, this is the meta list going around. This Demon Hunter deck, it's doing a lot of things. And then keep in mind, it does run Elise. Freyak going to 10 mana. A lot of people are like, oh my god, Freyak is dead. 5 less mana. It costs more. It just makes Elise better, guys. Because the problem before was there wasn't a lot of great 10 mana cards. So everybody had to play Wisp because it's a 0 mana card, or you'd have to play Ceaseless because it's a 125 mana card. But now Ziliax can just be the 9 mana card, and this can just be the 10 mana card. So we just made Elise better and easier to weave into basically every single deck again. And by again, I mean, I guess again, because it hasn't changed. Freyak is still in every popular deck. Moving down to Discover Hunter. This is another deck that contains, I believe, 0 new cards in it, and is a very popular deck. Once again, actually I lied, it runs this Fable card. And the reason it runs this Fable card is because you're able to make discovers of the cards in your deck with the Natalie and our Scout. So you're able to make multiple copies of each of these Ranger Sylvanuses, and you're able to do some pretty insane things. I've had this Sylvanas played against me 4 turns in a row. It does 4 to everything on board, 4 to my face. Keep in mind, it still runs Incendious, which is damage to the face and the board. So even though Hunter generally doesn't have good AoE, and this deck, it had OTK potential, super outvalue potential, very good healing because of Ziliax. It has full board clears because of Incendious and the Fable Ranger, and it has more reach with the Neri because whenever you play a 1-cost minion, double its stats, and when you play a 1-cost spell, cast it twice. Believe it or not, there's quite a few 1-mana spells because of Grifta, and then you have Tide Pool to copy those with tracking and things of that nature. So this deck, this Hunter deck's just absolutely cracked, and I know the Devilsaur Mask looks a little weird. Remember, of course, we run Elise in the deck, so we have to play sometimes a 8-mana card that doesn't particularly fit in too great, but it still works well because set a minion's stats to 8/8 and give it charge. This is probably still going to win some games. So yeah, Discover Hunter back in the menu with, I guess you could say 3 new cards because the Sylvanas is technically 3. But yeah, same concept as the previous Discover Hunter, where it's just very difficult. Keep in mind, very difficult deck to play correctly. You can still easily win with this deck, but to play it like super optimal and get to like top legend, top 1K, it's going to take some experience with the deck and a lot of games under your belt. So with that, moving down to the Quest control deck, this is a version of No Hands Gamer's deck that I made my own by changing out a few cards. This deck plays very, very well right now. Dirty Rat in this meta is super fantastic if you're playing against any sort of combo deck. Looking at that Priest deck we just went over, if you're looking at like the Chrono Lord deck, you're pulling him out early and being able to kill him is super nice. So Dirty Rat is in a fantastic spot right now in this meta, along with Ham. If any Rafam deck you play against, if you eat a Rafam or you Dirty Rat a Rafam, their Rafam win con is just over. So, and then this deck also, because you run the Quest, you have the ability to get the Time Warp, which is a skip your opponent's turn. And then of course, if we're going to skip our opponent's turn for 5 mana, what is that not if just a Zucchini Priest deck? So we run Morazon to be able to skip our opponent's turn, play Morazon, and then kill our opponent with infinite damage. So you have all of the parts of control. The deck in itself has a lot of win cons with just good minions, good value, good tempo. And then if that's not enough, obviously the quest reward in the deck is going to inevitably get you there. If this isn't enough value for you, you've played the game terribly, terribly wrong. So yeah, Quest Warrior, very good as well. And then moving down to the last deck I was going to cover, which is another Priest deck, the Protoss Priest. While the Resuscitate did go to 6 mana, it didn't really matter, because while it was good on turn 5, Chrono Boost is also good on turn 5. So it doesn't really change too much when the card still does exactly what it does with 1 turn later. And while some games may affect, most of the time it will be so negligible that the deck still does exactly what it does, and you still have a fantastic card on that turn anyway that's going to get you to where you need to go. So obviously Protoss Priest still in the mix. I queued against a lot of it today and it still did exactly what it was you know, doing prior to the nerfs. So with that, those are our top decks that I saw today, our best performers by myself, what I saw, and then of course other streamers playing and chat telling me. If I missed anything or are there any upcoming things, feel free to leave that in the comment section below. Also keep in mind, I don't put the mobile friendly deck list for these that I don't already have. I just put the normal deck code, and this is like the only video that I just generally put deck codes for and not the like Hearthstone link. I got like an astronomical amount of people complaining that I only did deck codes and not the mobile friendly last time, but that's just because they're not my decks, and I'm not gonna spam Hearthstone with other people's decks without videos for them myself. So hopefully that makes sense. The codes will be there for you guys. I can promise you the 2 extra clicks it'll take is acceptable. With that, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Of course, I'm Robert Warshack, and happy whatever the hell day it is.
How do I know when my spicy off-meta deck is cooking or it's straight garbage? Hearthstone Deck Tracker gives me all the data I need to be able to find, track, create, and play with the worst possible decks I can to Legend each and every month. From matchup spreads to historical data, I can see where my off-meta decks stand in any meta. Features such as mulligan guides, remaining cards, and turn counters provide information which helps you make the best decision each turn. So if you want to be better than me, go on in the description below, hsreplay.net, give it a free download.
Isn't that right, bud? It's a good boy. You downloaded FH Replay, didn't you?